Hey guys, how's it going? It is May 7th, and it is another Warzone update with some freaking awesome things that I am really pumped about. So we're going to start with the first thing that I am, well, top of the list and most excited about, which is the StreetSweeper has been removed from Verdansk in floor loot. So the common, uncommon, epic, and rare have been removed. The Hauer 77, the common, uncommon, and rare have been removed, so there's still an epic variety in there. The StreetSweeper's wide ability fostered a dynamic where passive play was incentivized and rewarded, and we do not think this type of play is particularly compelling for either party when players do not have the necessary tools in the early in-game to effectively counter it. And I was ranting about this on stream yesterday, that I do not like the StreetSweeper because of that, and I was ranting in another stream a couple days ago because of it as well. Bug fixes. So fixed an additional map location in Verdansk that allowed players to reach out of bounds areas. This is one of the top locations that we addressed last week. They fixed a bug causing player models to initially load in as low res, so the PS2 graphics hopefully are fixed. Fixed a bug with the Cold War AK Fair 83 XM4 RPD, where they're having their ADS move speed and firing speeds decreased with the tactical and spaz stocks, rather than increased. So hopefully those spaz stocks are doing what they're saying they're doing now, and not just doing what the heck they want to be doing. So weapons. This is a rather lengthy post, so just sit tight, drink some coffee, and let's chill out and talk. We would like to preface the following weapon changes by providing you with some insight in our thought process. There are millions of you, and we reduce the effectiveness of a weapon. We are bound to make a change to someone's favorite gun. As players of this game ourselves, it pains us just as much. However, we remain torn, and we are the custodians of this game. We make it for you. In the same light, we are charged with maintaining the health and integrity of the game. In some instances, this required us to reduce the effectiveness of some universally cherished weapons. I believe what makes a game truly engaging is choice. When we diminish that choice, we take away the agency to play the game your way. This can happen when a weapon becomes too effective, and that simply not utilizing it puts you at a disadvantage. With that being said, we feel we are close to a balanced homeostasis where most options are at the very least viable, which leaves us to address the TTK. The following balance changes are part of the ongoing efforts to raise the TTK, or at least the individual skill required to reach the extreme ones. We ask that you consider these changes not as targeted attacks, but rather as a part of a larger initiative to raise the skill ceiling. We want to give you the runaway and the platform to show us your epic plays, proudest moments, and we hope that journey of mastery brings you as much enjoyment as it does us. So we see here, these are the weapons that are affected graphically. So the AMAX has been reduced, minimum damage decreased from 32 to 31. This should change TTKs by about 17%. In addition to its slowest minimum damage by an additional slot. So, with a great damage profile, so the AMAX changes go like this. The minimum damage decreased from 32 to 31 in Warzone only, obviously. With a great damage profile, locational multipliers, and manageable recoil, the AMAX was able to reliably put extreme TTKs at long range. This change reduces its fastest TTK by about 17%. In addition, This change reduces its fastest minimum damage TTK by about 17% in addition to its slowest minimum damage TTK by an additional shot. Its fastest maximum damage TTK, however, remains intact, which is a risk we feel is equal to the reward considering how unforgiving its rate of fire is and how many other weapons it has to contest with at ranges. The FARA 83 got a headshot multiplier decrease from 1.5 to 1.35, and base ADS move speed decreased by 7%. When combined with mobility stock, the FARA was basically breaking necks, right? So reaching exceedingly fast ADS firing speeds. We like how the FARA plays, but it was a little too versatile. As a part of our efforts to increase the overall time to kill, we are reducing the fastest time to kill, which is by 16.6% to compensate for its generous rate of fire and recoil control. The StreetSweeper, base hip spread increased, and the recoil increased slightly, ADS speed reduced slightly. So basically, while shotguns tend to have limited viability outside of early game, we find that the StreetSweeper is a tad too effective given the rate of fire and ammo capacity when compared to other weapons in its class. This change will decrease its lethal range slightly and punish inaccurate sustained fire, and give a little more time to react. So SMGs were also changed. The Bullfrog and the PPSH. The Bullfrog got the maximum damage decrease from 34 to 32. Maximum damage range increased 11%. Base move out speed increased by 1%. Sprint out speed increased by 13%. The Bullfrog's exceptional headshot multiplier has allowed it to reach one of the fastest TTKs in the game. While this change does not directly affect that multiplier, it does diminish its output. This change reduces the Bullfrog's ability to considerably achieve extreme TTKs while not removing it entirely. We felt it was too easy to consistently reduce the TTK to these ranges, so we are asking for a bit more accuracy in exchange for the stat line. We are hesitant to label this as an outright nerf, as we believe this is more of more value to a gun than damage alone. So basically what they're saying is damage isn't everything, movement speed and things like that does matter. So the PPSH has some pretty attractive buff, actually. So the maximum damage range is increased by 4%, but the big key here is the open bolt delay was decreased by 80%. We would like to push SMGs in a different, interesting directions to distinguish them from each other. Ideally, we are providing a myriad of options within each weapon category. Basically just saying that, hey, not every gun has the highest TTK, but some guns we can get there by just different playstyle. So the attachments. Barrels, combat sniper, the combat recon on the snipers. The bullet velocity multiplier was increased by 12%, and the ADS idle sway multiplier was decreased by 33.3%. As we continue to assess the place of Cold War snipers in Warzone, we realize there is a lot of work to be done. In addition to improving the overall efficiency of these weapons and attachments, we would also like taking a close look at their optics. This includes addressing attachment pros where there are few, if in any cases. In specific, we see the Cold War equivalent to an immensely popular Modern Warfare sniper attachment very soon. So there are likely new attachments coming out for the sniper rifles, and it sounds like new scopes from what we're seeing here, but I'm curious. So the AK-47, actually I will say this, got a buff because of the Axial Arms 3. The optic behavior is improved, so basically it should be easier to keep on target. Stocks. So the Raider KGB skeletal stock and the ARs, LMGs, shotguns, and snipers, the ADS firing multiplier decreased by 75%, and the ADS move multiplier was decreased by 10%. So the ADS firing and move speed both were decreased with the skeletal stock and the Raider stock. So the Raider KGB stock, for SMGs, the ADS firing speed multiplier decreased by 50%, and the ADS move speed multiplier decreased by 10%. The SAS, like the shotgun, so the SAS stocks and the Spetsnaz stock for the AR, LMG, shotgun, snipers, the ADS firing multiplier was reduced by 75 and also 10. So again, we see the same thing with the SAS and Spetsnaz stock for the SMGs, the same 50 and 10% for the ADS firing and ADS move speed. The TAC stock for ARs, light machine guns, shotguns, and snipers, the ADS move speed multiplier was decreased by 75%, and the TAC stock for the submachine guns, the ADS move speed multiplier was decreased by 50%. It is crucial to maintain an engagement space where each weapon type can excel. So basically what we're seeing here is instead of increasing the Modern Warfare gun speeds, we are seeing a decrease of the Cold War gun speeds. So we should see Cold War guns moving more in line with Modern Warfare guns. So it'll be the complaints about the Modern Warfare AUG, for instance, about it being slow moving, are probably going to be a non-issue now that they're going to move about the same, if not moving a little faster, because the Cold War AUG is still an SMG and the ARs are ARs. Very curious to see where this is all going. Very, very exciting, all these changes. Over the next week, we'll put out a bunch of videos. I'm sure you'll see stuff from J God and True Game Data and all those boys. But if you guys found this interesting, give this video a like. If you like me, give me a subscribe. Have a good one, guys, and I will see you around.